Good morning, everyone. So, welcome to AP Samagra Siksha KGBV online classes. Myself, L. Damayanti, working as biology CRT at KGBV Gantiada. So, hello, children. So, today we are going to deal with the lesson respiration and circulation. So, in this chapter, we have first four topics. So, that are. So, first one is, you can see the topics there. So we have first one as breathing, next respiration in human beings, our breath contains, and prevention and management of substances misuse, tobacco. So these are the four topics which we are going to deal today. So in this lesson we are going to deal these four topics, and later the other topics will be dealt. So coming to the term respiration. What is respiration? So respiration is, this lesson starts with an incident that some children go to the pond and they start swimming. One of the child drowns and they call for the help for some other person, and the person comes and save the child from drowning, and suggest them not to do such things without the elders. So yes, it is very much necessary that while going for swimming we should go with the elders only, because small children do not know how to swim, so they can meet with an accident. So this should not be done. So we should listen to our parents, and we should always go with the elders to such places. Okay, so due to this incident, the children thought something. So they start thinking, fishes, the other animals live in water, why can't we get into the water? So why can't we live in the water? Why we die if we go into the water, or if we drown into the water? So for these questions, they asked their teacher. They went to their science teacher and they asked, Madam, teacher, why it is so that we cannot breathe inside the water? The teacher firstly cautioned them that you should not move to such water places without any elders. So you should be always guided with the elders only. So this should be remembered firstly. Okay, this should be remembered that we should move to the such places with the elders. Later, teacher tell them about the process, why reason for why we cannot breathe into the water. So for this, the teacher first explained them the concept of breathing. So today we are also going to learn about breathing. So our first requirement that is breathing. So what is breathing? So we have definition for breathing. So that is, breathing is the process of inhalation and exhalation is called breathing. Can you see that? See. So this is the line here. So the process of inhalation and exhalation of air is called breathing. So while you're attending this class, you should write these definitions in your notes. So write down the question, what is breathing, and write the answer. The process of inhalation and exhalation of air is called breathing. So now we should know the other terms like inhalation and exhalation. What is inhalation and exhalation? Inhalation is the process of inhalation of air with more oxygen and less carbon dioxide enters the lungs. So here you have the concept that enters the lungs. So here what happens? Air enters into the lungs. This process is called inhalation. So another thing we have, oxygen when sent out from the lungs. So this process is called exhalation. So inhalation is air enters into the lungs, and the process of exhalation is oxygen is sent out from the lungs. So the air is leaving the lungs. So these processes are called inhalation and exhalation. So the inhalation and exhalation, so air enters into our lungs and leaves come out of the lungs. So these two processes are called inhalation and exhalation. Through hand you can show inhalation and this is exhalation. So coming out is exhalation, going inside is the inhalation. Okay, understood? Now we will move with the an activity. So to learn more about this inhalation and exhalation, an activity has been given to you. So in that activity, so the inhalation is intaking air, we know. So that is termed by another term, that was given by another term. So that is, it is also called as inspiration. So the inhaling of air is called inspiration, and in the same way the process of exhalation is also given, exhalation of air, it is called expiration. So inhalation is inspiration and exhalation is expiration. So inhalation and inspiration and expiration together, so they nearly occurs 20 times, 14 to 20 times per minute. So 14 to 20 times per minute. So one inhalation and one exhalation, they both together combinedly called as breathing. So that is also has been given to you in your in this book. If you have textbooks, go through the textbooks. So one inhalation and one exhalation together called as, so here it has been given, see, one inhalation and one exhalation, one exhalation together make one breath here. Okay, so what is breath? So what is breath? So one exhalation, one inhalation and one exhalation is makes one breath. Okay, so if anyone asks you what is a breath, so one inhalation and one exhalation is called as one breath. How many times per minute it occurs is 14 to 20 times. In your future, in your exams, they will be asked as multiple choice questions. There you have to answer them. So you have to underline such points which I am now underlining. These should be, if you have textbooks with you, so underline these things what I have taught you, which I have underlined you, that will be useful for your MCQ questions, multiple choice questions. Okay, so this is inhalation and exhalation, and how one inhalation and exhalation makes the one breath. So this is the basic concept we should know. So now the answer to the first question, that why can't we breathe inside the water, so that was answered, that could be answered if we know the respiratory systems in our body. So every organism, the organisms which are living in water, which are living on land, so every organism had different respiratory organs in them. So we are talking about human beings. Your next topic is respiration in human beings. So in this topic, so we should know, so what are the respiratory organs in human beings? How does the human beings take air into the body? Okay, so for this answer we breathe through our nose. So we breathe through our nose. From nose, where does the air goes? Where do the air goes? To which parts does it goes? So for that we have the diagram. So see how the air goes into the lungs. So in our body, the respiratory organs are lungs. So lungs are our respiratory organs. So how the air enters from nostrils. So these are called as nostrils, and from the nostrils, through which path does they enter into where are our lungs? So they are situated in this part, thoracic part. So this thoracic part we have lungs. So air from the nose enters into the lungs here. Okay, so through which route does this air goes into the lungs? It starts from nostril, it directly goes to the lungs? No. So we have different route for passing of the air into the lungs. So it has been given to you in the form of a flow chart. See, the first comes our nostrils. So nostrils are nothing but these things. So you have two holes in your nose, those are called as nostrils. Next we have the nasal cavity. So next we have nasal cavity. So nasal cavity, if you enlarge this diagram, you can find this. See. So here, so we have nostrils, so where the air enters into it, and this is the nasal cavity. So this is the space where the air remains and it moves from there. So then comes our pharynx, the part pharynx. So where is the pharynx? So this junction is called as pharynx. So this is the junction where the food pipe and the windpipe separates. So air, while entering into the nostrils, goes to nasal cavity, and then it enters into pharynx, and therefrom it enters into the windpipe. So this is the windpipe. Okay, so from nasal cavity, from nostril, nasal cavity and pharynx, and then the windpipe. From there, we have lungs. So these are the two lungs here. Okay, it is covered into a rib cage. It is present inside a rib cage. So in these the lungs. So here you can find two structures dividing. So those are called as bronchi. So they are called as bronchi. So from the bronchi, so these large structures, so they are called lungs. So air enters finally into the lungs through the bronchi. So you can see here. So these are the lungs. So these two structures here, because small structures which are entering into the lungs. So this is one and this is another two. So these two bronchi are entering into the lungs. So how the air enters into our body from the nose to lungs, it has been given in the form of a pathway. So you can repeat with me while if you have the textbook with you, you can see it and you can feel it while you can go with an activity. So when you are inspiring, when you are inhaling, so air moves to nostrils and then it goes to nasal cavity, from there to the pharynx, and pharynx to the windpipe and to bronchi, and then to the lungs here. Okay, so this could be asked, this flow chart could be asked for question in your summative exams and formative exams. So if you feel it, if you feel that in a form of an activity, then you can write it very easily. Just you have to remember the terms there. So those terms are, you can go with that. So you can repeat from yourself, that are nostrils. Nostrils are these parts. Then we have nasal cavity, pharynx, windpipe and bronchi and lungs. Okay. So it has been given that what are those parts in our body, how they are, what is their structure, what they have, what they contain. So those all are given in your textbooks. So in nasal cavity we have hairs. So when you poke your hand in your nose, you find small hair like structures, so that are present in the nasal cavity. So as I told you, pharynx, it is a junction here. So in this junction, the two pipes, food pipe and wind pipes, are separated. So air moves into the pharynx to windpipe. So food pipe is separate and windpipe is separate. Okay. So from the windpipe, as I told you, bronchi and the lungs. Okay, fine. So now we this is up to how air enters to the lungs. So we are now familiar with how air enters into the lungs from nostril, from outside to into our lungs. Now we have to know how the process, this respiration, this entire process is called respiration. So how we are taking in the air and how we are leaving the air. So this process, the process of respiration occurs with the coordination of different parts of the respiratory system. So respiration is the process which helps in the release of energy in our body. So what is the purpose of respiration? Why we breathe? We have to take air into our body. Why should we breathe? Why can't we live without breathing? So during respiration, so oxygen enters into our body, and that is helpful in releasing energy from our food materials, the food which we eat. So to burn those food materials, this oxygen is required. So this oxygen, through respiration, when we take in oxygen, it burns the food there and releases energy. So what is the purpose of respiration? To release the energy. You can underline those words. You can underline those lines. What is the process of respiration? Respiration is the process which helps in the release of the energy, which helps in the release of the energy. Respiration is the process which helps in the release of the energy from in our body. So respiration helps in release of energy in our body, which is very much essential for our survival. So we need energy for everything what the works we have to do. So this energy is released by which process? That is respiration. Okay, fine. Now the important thing is that, so we have to know about our respiratory organs, that are lungs. So if these lungs could be asked for 4 marks questions or 8 marks questions. So what is the structure of lungs? How does the lungs look like, or what things are present in the lungs? So this is the description of the lungs. What are lungs? So lungs are pink color, spongy, elastic and sac-like structures with many tiny air sacs. So the term here is air sacs. What are air sacs? Air sacs are nothing but balloon-like structures inside the lungs. The balloon-like structures inside the lungs. So balloon-like structures inside the lungs. So they are placed safely in rib cage. What are placed? Lungs. So these two structures are placed inside the lungs, inside the rib cage. So rib cage is, when you see a skeleton, you find bony structures. You find bony structure there. Okay. So bony structure. A bony structure inside these two lungs are situated. Okay. So they are enclosed in a rib cage. So this rib cage could be asked for a bit. So another thing, dash are pink in color, spongy elastic sac-like structures with many tiny air sacs. So these could be asked as bits for your multiple choice questions or 1 mark questions. Okay. So another one is a rib cage. So lungs are covered with rib cage, inside the rib cage. Okay. These are asked as 1 mark questions or 2 marks questions also, and entire lungs are asked for 4 marks or 8 marks questions. So remember this. So what are the question will be, what is the structure of lungs? Okay. So what are lungs? Fine. So in the chest cavity, the right lung is slightly larger than the left one. So the lungs do not possess muscles, so they cannot expand or contract on their own. So lungs do not have muscles. Okay. So they cannot expand their own and they relax by their own. So we have another important thing, that our here important one thing is given, that the right lung is slightly larger. So which is the larger lung, right side or left side? So that is right side. So you think it as a bit multiple choice question. Okay. So it is slightly larger than the left one. It is slightly larger than the left one. So right lung is larger than the left one. So right lung has 3 lobes and left lung has only 2 lobes. Hence it is larger than the left one. Okay. Fine. So now how are the lungs expanding and contracting? As we said, there are no muscles for lungs to expand and contract. So how they are functioning then? Okay. How the lungs are functioning? So we go into the process of functioning of the lungs. So here respiration in human occurs in 2 stages. So what are the 2 stages in respiration? So what are the 2 stages in respiration? One is inspiration, another is expiration. So these are the 2 processes in which the respiration takes place in human beings. The first one is inspiration, the second one is expiration. Okay. So how these 2 takes place in our body, we are going to see now. Okay, so inspiration already we had done, we have learned in the previous, not previous, just few minutes ago. So inspiration is intaking of air and expiration is outgoing of air. So when we inhale, moves upwards. Okay, we take the air into our body. Fine. Next, so during inspiration, when we breathe air or inhale the chest along with the rib cage moves upward and air enters into our lungs. So this you could experience this. You could experience this. So how you can, when you inspire, you find some changes in your body, so that you are moving upward, your chest is moving upward. Okay, right? So now expiration, when you leave the air, you just come down. You just come down. So these are the changes, bodily changes when occurs when we inspire and when we expire. Okay, fine. So what is inspiration could be asked. So question could be asked, what is inspiration? Then you can write this as, when we breathe in or inhale the air, the chest along with the rib cage move upwards and air enter into our lungs. And while during expiration, what happens when we breathe out or exhale, the chest along with the rib cage moves downwards. So upwards is inspiration and downwards is expiration, and the air moves out. Fine. So this is inspiration and expiration. So that process could be observed in the following figure. See, here we can observe. So imagine yourself, not imagine, you can experience that. When you breathe, take a long breath. So then you feel that you are moving up, your chest is moving upward. So what happens during that? Okay, so what happens during that? So during inhalation, so your diaphragm moves downward. So it moves downward, it comes downward. So diaphragm is, this is the structure, this is called as diaphragm. This structure is called as diaphragm, which is a muscular structure. It moves up and down. It moves up and down while inspiration and expiration. So this structure helps in the movement of air into and out of the body. Fine. So in this, during the inspiration, so this comes down. So you can see the difference here. You can see the difference. You can see the difference here. The structure, the position of diaphragm. So it is down, and it has moved up. It has moved up here. So during inspiration or inhalation, the structure comes down. So what happens? It is giving space. It is giving space for the air which is entering into the body. And here during exhalation, you can see, so it has gone up. There is no space given to the for the air. So it is moving, it is making the air rush out of the it is moving, rush out of the air to rush out of the bronchi, or you can say your windpipe. So here air is entering into the body when the diaphragm comes down. And it is moving out of the body when the diaphragm goes up. So movement is this, and this is, it moves down. So it is coming like this. Fine. So during inspiration it comes down, during expiration it moves up. What is the structure? Diaphragm. Spell it, that is diaphragm. It is a muscular structure. So it helps in the process of breathing. Fine. So this is how the inspiration and expiration takes in our body. So in here another activity has been given for you, just to measure, for you can do it at your home also. You can just take a measuring tape. So he has given a number of friends you have to enroll and check their chest sizes. while they are inspiring and while they are expiring, that you have to note down there. So we have learned about the process of inspiration and expiration. So you have to remember the term diaphragm, that is diaphragm. So this diaphragm is a muscular structure which helps in inspiration and expiration. This structure, diaphragm, goes down during inspiration, and during expiration it moves upward. Okay, so it comes down to create space. It comes down to create space, and it goes up to vacate the air. So coming air should be accommodated here. So the lungs should leave the air. The air should leave the lungs, so it moves moving upwards and the air is going out. Fine. So this is the process of inspiration and expiration, and together are called as respiration. So respiration occurs in two stages. One is inspiration and another is expiration, and for both what structure is important? That is diaphragm. Okay, fine. Now, so we have another concept as what does the one breath. So inspiration and expiration together called one breath. We have learned just few minutes back. So what does actually breath contains? So physical process we have seen. Now we can look into the breath. Actually, what does the air contains? Is there anyone here who can say that only oxygen is going into our nose and carbon dioxide is not, it is stopping outside? It's not like that. So entire air in the atmosphere, whatever the contents are there in the atmosphere, they all are entering into our body. All. So we have different gases in our nature, in our atmosphere. We have carbon dioxide, we have oxygen, we have nitrogen, we have other gases. Okay, so water vapors, these all are going into our body. But we are very much specific with the oxygen and carbon dioxide, because those two gases are only affecting our body but not other gases. Okay, fine. So one breath contains what gases? What does the one breath contains? You can go through it. That is oxygen. You can go through the table number 2 in your textbook. That is oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen and water vapors. In what quantities they have during inspiration, how much oxygen excuse me, during inspiration how much oxygen is there, during expiration how much oxygen is coming out. Okay, this you have to compare. So during inspiration we have 21% in the atmosphere, so that all gas oxygen goes into our body, and while coming out in exhaled air, you can see the percentage, it is 15. So it is misprint there, it is not visible. So 15% it comes out. Okay, remaining gases, you see carbon dioxide, while entering into our body it is 0.04, but while coming out it is 4. So 0.04 is very much less than the 4. Okay, next nitrogen 78, as it comes as it is as 78. So it is not, it is going inside and coming as it is. Okay, remaining other gases also, water vapors also, they are just 3%, because it is moving with the air. Water is moving with the air. So we are concerned with the oxygen and carbon dioxide. Why oxygen and carbon dioxide means? Oxygen, we said earlier, oxygen is required to burn the food inside our body, which gives us energy. So this oxygen goes 21% inside our body and only 15% comes out. So what happens to the balance? That is 21 minus 15. Okay, so that is nearly 6%. So that 6% is utilized by our body. It is utilized by our body. Okay, so during respiration, oxygen is utilized in our body to release energy. And after that, you have another gas, that is carbon dioxide. So when you take in carbon dioxide, it is very less. And after releasing the gas, it is more. So carbon dioxide is inside our body. So that is coming out of our body, which is prepared in our body. So this carbon dioxide is coming out of the body, which is more in the percentage. So that proves that something is carbon dioxide is released from our body. So we take oxygen to release carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide is very much necessary to be removed from the body, because it is somehow poisonous gas to our body. So we require oxygen. Okay, fine. So next, how can we say that we are releasing only carbon dioxide? You are releasing carbon dioxide. We are releasing nitrogen also, but in more quantity we are releasing carbon dioxide. Why? Okay, carbon dioxide is released, so how will you test that gas? So for that also one activity has been given to you. So in that activity it has been asked to take two beakers. In that one beaker we have to take lime water, and in one net normal water. So in lime water what happens here, the specificity of this experiment is that lime water turns to milky. So what happens, that boy is dropping, he is with the help of straw he is blowing air into the beakers. So in that beaker, so color change could be observed. In the beakers color change could be observed. So which beaker does the lime water turn milky white? So the boy, one boy is blowing one blowing into the bottle in the beaker, and another one is normal atmosphere air, it is being blown into the lime water. Okay, so the both are the lime water, but in one beaker boy is blowing the air, in another beaker atmosphere normal air is being processed into that. So in both, which bottle or which beaker shows lime water milky? So actually lime water is transparent. So while boy is blowing, so that beaker turns into lime milky white. So milky white. So this shows that boy is releasing carbon dioxide. So during expiration, so he is blowing out means air is moving out of the body. So that is due to the carbon dioxide, the lime water turns milky in nature. So that is the test for the carbon dioxide. If a lime water turns milky, that means it has touched some carbon dioxide. So this proves that we release carbon dioxide. Okay, we take the oxygen and we release the carbon dioxide. Here it has been given, some flow chart has been given, see. So from the atmosphere we breathe in air into our lungs. So oxygen is utilized and it is utilized by the cell, and through carbon dioxide is released and it goes into the air. So from where it goes? Lungs, blood and the cells. From the lungs it goes to blood, and from blood it goes to cells, and from cell carbon dioxide is released and it moves into the air through the expiration. So this is the flow chart which shows that how oxygen enters our body and how does the carbon dioxide come out of our body. Okay, fine. So next we have another concept, as we have this is till now we have learned that the process of respiration, it occurs in two stages, that is inspiration and expiration. One breath contains which gases, and how much percentage is oxygen is there, and how much carbon dioxide is there, and how much quantities get into our body and how much quantities are coming out of our body. Okay, so now to test the carbon dioxide also, we proved that through lime water. So when carbon dioxide is blowing, when air is blowing into the lime water, it turns milky in white. So that confirms that carbon dioxide gas is released. So here another concept is that the oxygen reacts with the glucose, prevent the indigested foods and breaks down into carbon dioxide and water to release energy. So along with the energy from the food materials, carbon dioxide is also released. So this process is called respiration. So what is respiration? Respiration is the process in which the food materials are burned with the help of oxygen and releases carbon dioxide and energy. So when oxygen is given to the food materials, so in this process we have two types of respirations. One is aerobic respiration and another is anaerobic respiration. This could be learnt in higher classes. Aerobic means with oxygen. So you have maximum percentage of oxygen for the respiration. Anaerobic oxygen is very 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 limited or absence, completely absence. So there are two types of respiration, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Fine. So these are the types of respirations. Okay. Now we have one another last topic in our session. So that is prevention and management of substance misuse, that is tobacco. So hope you are you all are very much familiar about the tobacco. Okay, so we find people smoking cigarettes, BDs, all. Okay, so the people who are smoking, is there any harm to them? Is it good to smoke, to have cigarette and BD? No, because they damage our lungs. They damage our lungs because we have learnt, we inhale gases, and we exhale gases. So while smoking, when somebody smokes, so while smoking they are intaking the gases. So in tobacco there is a chemical called nicotine. So that nicotine goes into our lungs, it damages our lungs. So it is not good. So smoking is a very 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 bad habit. So what happens, people think we have to just once only I smoked, I will taste that. So it's not correct. Everything starts with one step only, but later on it makes people addicted, very 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 much required. I can't live without it. So addiction, so they can't live. So it's better one should not go near to tobacco inhaling. So children, especially you people, you should be very much aware of the damages which damages of tobacco inhaling. So it damages most of our nervous systems, especially it is very dangerous for the small children, even elders also. But sometimes who is smoking is already at risk, but the surrounding people who are near to them, suppose in our family our father smokes, so in our family we have family members, so they all are living in that area only. So while they smoke, so that smoke is getting into the lungs of others also. They are not smoking, father is smoking, but others are also inhaling those gases. So it also damages their body. So directly or indirectly everyone is at risk through tobacco smoking, through smoking. So it is very 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 injurious to health. No one should go near to the tobacco. So no one should make habit of having that. Okay, so this is the value which we have learned in this lesson now. So as a children, we are growing up, we should not go towards the bad habits. So hope everyone, nobody will be going towards the smoking. As we have learnt, when we are studying, when we are learning something, we should not do wrong things in our life. So that is the outcome of the studies. So what you are studying, that is the result of that study. Okay, what you have learnt is the result of that study. So reading this also, that tobacco is injurious to health, smoking is not good for health, still you are doing, means you are not at all interested. You haven't learnt anything from your science classes. Okay, so think of that. Even tell your parents that smoking is very very dangerous for the person and also the surrounding peoples. Okay, so take care of these things. So develop good habits regarding your respiratory system. So thank you. So hope everyone listened very well in this lesson. If now take down just homework class. So draw the structure of respiratory system has given to you in your lesson and the pathway through which the air into our body. Okay, fine, thank you.